to our Unapologetic era podcast. You know, we've been doing this
in my living room.
Yeah, we've been doing this a year, and I still stutter when I try to say the whole entire name.
Our Unapologetic era. I tried to do, because I was making myself a folder in my Dropbox today, and I was trying to do Leah's Our Unapologetic. The initials suck. The O-U-E, not Q.
It kind of looks like a Q-U-E, like a Q. Like our Q.
Well, we're just missing some vowels, and then we can go teach kindergarten.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's long. We know. So today we are talking about, since, you know, this is our platform or whatever, being in a relationship with us or a woman with a platform.
Yeah, I mean, we did intend on having a platform. It hasn't gone exactly the way we planned for it to go, but we did intend on having a voice and with us doing this.
And apparently I
didn't realize my voice was going to be just pissing people off.
Right, as I say, our voices are just causing rage among 99% men, and women just ask questions for clarification.
True. I did expect to piss a man off.
Not 2,000 of them.
All men.
But let's be real. You go look at these men that are commenting, and they may live in.
I love it whenever they say, you look like you should be at a buffet. And I'm like, bruh, when was the last time you did your body fat percentage?
A buffet? Because they're calling you fat, or are you a snack? I'm asking. I don't know.
Ooh, they're calling me fat. And then someone else said something else about me being fat. And I was like, when was the last time you ran a mile, buddy? I don't even care how long it took you. When was the last time you ran a mile? Because I know your ass hadn't been out of your mother's basement in 10 years.
But what's funny is I weigh a good 60 pounds more than you, but why do you get the rage of calling you a fat slob or a whore? Like, I just don't get it.
I don't know either. And look, I get it. I have fat rolls sometimes on here, but I don't care. Like, I really don't care.
We're human.
If I cared, I would do something about it.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
We're human.
The wrinkles and the grays bother me way more than the fat roll.
We're women. Things aren't in the place they used to be. We've had kids. Like, it just, I guarantee you we probably look fucking better than your wife or your girlfriend does. So,
they don't have a wife or a girlfriend.
They have a left hand or a right hand. That's it.
That's probably raw. One guy had his profile picture had a little girl in it with him, so I assumed it was his daughter.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even help myself, because normally I just come back with some smart aleck remark or whatever. But I had to say, I was like, could you just be a better example for your daughter so that she won't marry somebody like you one day?
Oh, that's the ultimate of what a father is who their daughter marries.
Yeah. Like, why would you want to be exactly what you don't want your daughter to be with?
Yeah. Or maybe he doesn't care. He probably thinks he's a good guy. He probably thinks he's like a catch.
There's no way. And also this whole thing about like people are just trolling, like that's what they do. What? You don't have any other, go bowling. You don't go golf. I don't care, be a Zelda gamer, but this is a hobby. To just hop on people's stuff and just say nasty things to say it? That don't make no sense.
It makes them feel better about themselves.
Especially with ChatGPT around. You don't even need to think. I don't think you're that creative even.
If they even know what it is. Let's talk. Okay, so let's go backwards. So being with a woman with a platform, or you could even be with a woman, a CEO or higher up woman, a corporate woman, or like somebody that, you know what I mean? What is it? A lot of
eyes on them?
Yeah, like what is it like for you in the dating world? Because I can speak of the marriage world. Having this platform, and what are you experiencing?
I mean, I think what's more important for you and I is how do you, and we kind of just talked about this, but how do you balance doing both that and the feminine role well?
But I'm not.
I actually have an answer to that. No, I don't.
You may want to answer that because you know, for me,
like I have a solution to it, but I don't think it's good enough for the men that I'm around.
You're gonna have to answer that first, because you know I tend to fall in a masculine role, so it's harder for me to answer that question.
Well, okay, so why I said I have an answer for it is because I know I feel confident, and this will be interesting with your answer too. I feel confident in my feminine and what I am in a relationship. It well, you know what? Now that I'm saying this out loud, I take on the same role at work also, like in the sense that I know my place.
What does that mean?
Um, okay, so for instance, like making sure that the man in the room feels no matter what's going on that he's the one that's directed the room.
Dang. I do not follow that role at work.
Well, I mean, I do. But I also don't have as much formal education. So there could be some insecurities in that. So I don't have as much formal education. I don't have a lot of career building outside of the home as other women do. And I have a lot of years as my career being the home. So maybe that's why it's easier for me to fall into that place. But I definitely naturally go into let me make sure that the man in this room still feels like he's in control of this room, even if I'm technically on paper by by title the one that's in control of the room.
So you're letting a man lead even in a professional environment.
It's manipulation. He's not leading. It's letting him think he's leading.
Ooh.
I'm
See,
gonna be honest. I mean, that's what it is. It's manipulation. It's and the reason why do I do that? Why is that necessary? Because you don't want him. You don't want kickback. You don't want to be fight. You don't want to be swimming upstream because he doesn't feel appreciated. So even if I'm technically in a higher position by title, by everything, I'm still going to the man in the room. And you know what I mean by the man. There could be five men, but there's always the one man.
yeah,
The
no,
man
yeah.
in the room, I'm going to make sure he feels as if I know my place. So then he's not going to bother me.
Hmm. Well, I can
I,
tell you,
that ain't good.
we're
That's not
we're
something I should admit, especially to put out into the world, but it's true.
we're gonna go we're a little off topic, but I can tell you I experienced this week because I don't follow that role at work. I am equivalent and equal to every person in that room, and I will have a voice that's going to be heard. And I had a gentleman. I will not call him a gentleman because it was a fucking douche move. Call me out in front of a whole entire room to make me subpar to him.
That's exactly why I do what I do because I don't want that to happen.
But you know what happened? My
What happened?
boss put him in his fucking place immediately. And I was
And
like,
this might be what my insecurities are because I'm not secure enough that I think my boss would do that for me. I should be.
yeah. But I'm going back to saying is he is my boss, but him and I are equal in a lot of ways because of the way our jobs roles are. So it made me feel better in knowing that I had respect in the room for a douchebag and he put him in his place.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
my dominant role in the workplace and my masculinity is obviously paying off something because I was immediately, I mean, they looked at him like he was a fucking idiot when he said that.
Is he an idiot?
I don't know. It's the first time I ever met him. First time I've
Oh,
ever met this dude. Never met him before. Came from a
damn.
different office. Like not even part of my office. Just he's part of a different location. Never even met him. Don't know anything about him.
To just try to like kind of feed off of what I was saying, not to bring it back to me, but um, was he at any time possible to have your position, like up for it or a
No,
promotion
I'm
of
just
any
doing
sort
a
that he
bet.
didn't
We
get?
have the same exact position. I'm just doing a better job than he is. And the
You know,
company is
when they brought
recognizing
when
it.
they brought us in as women to work,
Yeah.
we do things much better most of the time. Clerically, especially administrative side, clerically, like we're better at those things.
Well, more
We
detail. It's more
we can't run
details.
forklifts as well as they can, though.
No. But okay, how do we wrap this back around? I'm trying to think because we've totally
Well,
gotten
okay,
off
so
topic.
actually, I had an example to what our episode's actually supposed to be about. So I get told a lot, sometimes by complete strangers, like to go back to the comments, sometimes in the comments, and sometimes by people that call themselves friends of mine.
Ooh.
And they say to me, they're like, what you've done by by doing the podcast and putting yourself out there, talking about my mistakes that I've made specifically, um, joke like us talking about the dirty DMs and stuff. Somehow or another, that's made me a whore, and that's how they see it. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
we'll
don't
come
get me
back to
wrong. I
that.
have
We'll
done
come
some
back
things
to
I
that
shouldn't
one.
do, but that has not my fault.
No,
And so they're like, no good man is going to want you.
because we're being honest.
Hmm.
So we're being undervalued for honesty.
Yeah. So, and I've kind of had this argument with a few people, and their point is, um, a good man is not going to want to be with you because any of their peers could get on the internet and see what you've said, and then then their peers know that they're with trash.
Or if his mama comes searching.
So is that supposed to silence me? Is that supposed to
No,
should we walk away from our platform because we've been told that,
no,
or I've been told that?
no. But my husband has never watched any of our content, and
Yeah,
for
I
very
know.
good reason. But his friends do. But they've never gave any backlash to what we're doing. So he doesn't hear things from other people.
Mhm.
Um but also I'm very respectful in the point that I'm not going to speak ill of my husband. And if there's a problem with my husband, it's going to be between him and I. And I'm not going to vocalize it to the whole fucking world, my issue with my husband. Now, not to say I'm not going to talk about constantly these motherfuckers that in the past that have caused you and I problems. I'm going to talk about them all the fuck because they deserve it. And if they didn't like if they don't want me talking about it, then you shouldn't have done what you fucking did. Period.
Right. Okay. So don't let me get too far off topic, but I want to touch on two things. I'll keep one light and short, which is almost anything with a dick that I come in contact now that knows that we have the podcast says exactly the same thing to me. Are you going to put me on the podcast? Are you going to put me on the podcast? And I used to have a clever little response, and my clever little response was, "Don't do anything stupid, and you won't go on the podcast." I'm now so sick and tired of anything with a dick saying that to me that I just now just turn my head and walk away. Like it's not funny, it's not cute, it's not entertaining. You're not entertaining. I don't want to talk about it. Then there's the other thing, where I'm being told that you're a good guy. A good guy's not going to want you because you're telling your stories. What is wrong with us talking our truth that we talk amongst each other anyway, and looking inward to see why we did these things, because that's what you and I are doing.
Yeah.
We're not I'm neither you or I are out here going, "Hey, I had sex with somebody in college and forgot about it till he brought it up 20 years later." I'm not telling that story for shits and giggles. I'm telling it because it's like, holy crap. Why did I shove that down? Why did I not remember that? Like I'm doing it to learn and grow for myself. And that's not a good enough answer for them. They don't like it. They don't like that answer. I think they actually have told me multiple times that's just bullshit. That's bullshit.
So we're not supposed to heal out loud, basically.
Right.
Is
So
what's
it's
happening.
okay if we did it at home, reading. Also, where are the men that? And I'm not in that world, so I could just be really wrong about this. But where are the men that are trashing the OF girls?
What? What do you mean?
Why are they in our comments or telling me
Oh.
I'm not going to get a good man because we're talking about trying to better ourselves from the mistakes that we made and the shit that's real, but old girl over here's farting in jars and selling it, and they just keep giving her $5 a month.
But that's a paid service. We're just out here doing this shit for free. So wait, so if we got paid for this, we'd be acceptable?
Wait, say it again.
I said if we got paid for this, we would be acceptable?
In my opinion, yes. I hear where you're going with that. And yes, I do think that if it benefited the man and he was flying private because of me getting on the internet and telling stories and learning from them, he wouldn't complain about it. Also, take your damn rib back if that's how you're going to be.
Well, I think the difference is that we just seem like nagging imbeciles to them versus an OF girl is a fantasy and they can create more of a fantasy and we are reality and they don't like it.
You hit the nail on the head. You really did. And what's sad about that is that it is a fantasy. There isn't a damn thing real about the OF girls. And I'm not saying that in a judgmental, tear them down type of way, because I know some of these girls and they're cool as shit and they're good business women, but they don't give a flying fuck about the people that are sending them the money every month.
No. Nope. They don't care. Just like we
Mm-mm.
don't care when we reply. I mean, in the past month, I've replied to 2,000 messages over
Well, they
TikTok.
okay. So the really good ones don't answer their own messages. They have a call service. They have a call service that answers all their DMs for them. So you don't know. You could be talking to Tim. When you think you're talking to Lila, you're talking to Tim. Tim is the one that's answering back. Oh yeah, baby, I'll send you a good morning message. You're not even talking to them. The good ones, the big ones.
Yeah.
The ones that only have 1,000. Yeah, you're getting them. But the ones that we're talking about right now, that's it's not that some have a call service. They have a call service. They have whole management teams. They also have multiple pages that are managed by not them. So there's a lot of times that there's whole relationships, fantasy relationships that they have never seen one message from those people.
Do you, okay, no, because I don't know any OF girls and you do. Do these girls have relationships, partners, marriages?
Yeah, one of the girls that I met that I had I have a lot of respect for her.
We're frozen.
Like he did most of the film for her. And he
Oh.
wasn't. I don't think he partook. I don't think, or he partake. They're married now, but I don't think that he ever participated. I think he only did editing and filming, what she couldn't do with her tripod.
So basically, she locked him down with her fantasy world.
Yeah. She also told me a really crazy story. Like apparently a lot of times they have stalkers, but she had a female stalker that was really bad.
Ooh.
Like really scary bad. And I remember him telling me about it too. Like, and I was like, it's kind of funny to hear a man talk about because you expect them to have like weirdos that are men.
Yeah.
But this was a woman that was a weirdo. Yeah. The girl, by the way, she still had a day job and she did really well with her business, her OF business. And another one that I got to know pretty decently well too. She owned multiple businesses, including Airbnbs and hospitality businesses, on top of her doing the OF, and did really well with the OF. So, basically, you and I never going to get a break, even if we had an OnlyFans. But when people say they're like, I'm gonna go sell feet pics, or I'm gonna, during this 2 years that I didn't have a real job, they were like, why don't you do an OF? Which mama and daddy, it was never going to happen. Okay. But I knew, thank God, I knew people who did do it. And I'm like, these people are making really good money and they have a lot of followers and they still have a day job. Also, they were stressed the fuck out because they still had numbers they had to meet. They still had like goals and expectations, and they had people they had to pay because they had a call service.
Did you ever see that it was before you moved, the girl that bought the billboard in Baton Rouge?
And my son brought that up to me.
Yeah, her it was up there for like a month, but she she had all her LinkedIn tree and her OF page and everything was on the billboard. And a picture of
she
her.
wasn't doing anything wrong. She was covered up on the thing. It was no worse than a Hooters billboard.
Oh no, she was more covered.
Led you to a bad path.
Yeah, she was more covered than that.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get a billboard.
Yeah.
Let's get a billboard.
But yeah, no, I do. To go back to what we were saying about having a platform or whatever, do those women have trouble finding men? It seems they don't.
No.
But it does seem that they have their masculine and feminine roles mixed up pretty harshly. And most of those women are the wearing the pants in the relationship. And it's not like a Karen type way where they're assholes. It's just they tend to have a more dominant personality, and the men are okay with them flying private because their girl, dillies her dally.
But isn't that reality of, even if it wasn't an OF girl and it was a business owner, period, that's female, they follow dominant roles anyway in their relationships because they're dominant in one place. Do they have the ability to separate the dominance in a work environment to a relationship? Because
No, you're
I
right.
I
No,
don't.
yes, yes, yes. Because you could own a health clinic and you're still going to face the same problems. The only difference is you're going to have less criticism, outside criticism, than an OnlyFans girl would. But if I owned a health clinic and I was running it successfully, it's going to take a very special man to be able to come in and step in and be what I need him to be.
Yeah.
Most men are going to be either like domestic violence men, where they want to come in and try to control because they have these ego problems or whatever, or they're just going to be very submissive, like a child.
That sucks. I don't.
Yeah, it does suck because as a woman, you think that you're doing what's best for you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm not gonna rely on someone else. I'm gonna do this myself, and then you end up putting yourself in a position to where now the men think that you're not dateable or marriage material.
Hmm. Interesting.
Since you and I've started doing the podcast, I have a lot less. I get hit on a lot less. It's okay. My feelings were not hurt at all about it, but I do think it has a lot to do with the podcast because, and not that I'm gonna put them on it. I think there's a little bit of intimidation there that I do have a voice. I actually do. I actually do have a voice.
So the fantasy of you is kind of voided now
You're exactly right,
because you have a
and
woman.
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Hmm. It's a good
Someone,
way. It's a good
someone
way to
asked me
filter.
recently. A guy asked me recently. He said he's something along those lines. But I just told you right there that they were like, "Has it turned off a lot of men that you talk about relationships and dating a lot?" And I said, "Yeah, it has." But you want to know what? It has weeded out the piece of shits real fast. So it basically separated the oil from the water, and they just oof, bye.
Yeah. That's what I was
would
gonna
have
say.
before. I would have taken too much time to figure that out.
It's a good filter.
Yeah, so anybody who tries to tell me that it's a negative thing, they can kiss my ass. I would much rather be sitting here talking to you right now about this in this manner than be in a relationship like I've been in the past.
You have a lot more. I mean, out of respect for my marriage, my husband, I don't have a lot of male friends, and I'm okay with that. So you hear significant more male perspectives than I do because basically all I hear is my husband or our
Yeah,
producer.
I want more meaningful conversations with the opposite sex. Yeah.
Yeah. Or me replying to our social medias. That's like the extent of, and there's no emotional or mental connection there. I'm just replying.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, all these,
Yeah, and I do get I really actually appreciate and enjoy it. And I've thought about like, what if I do meet somebody who is the right person? Like, how does this all fit in? And I do think that there's plenty more story to be told. This us doing our unapologetic era is not about Leah's tragic dating life. Um, but it but I do have a very strong feeling that if I'm in a relationship, I'm not having meaningful conversations with other men.
so how would you lead that conversation of, because you do have a lot of thirst traps on your
Well,
post.
there's no more thirst trapping if you're in a relationship. But what I don't need to trap anything. I don't need to trap likes or comments because our podcast is not built on thirst traps, first of all. And then I don't need to put myself out there as a billboard anymore because I have what I want at home. I
But,
in the past did not thirst trap in a relationship.
but
I don't-
what if it's to fault and starts affecting financially? Removing
I've
yourself.
already had that happen. I mean, I pretty much lost most of my spray tan business because I got off of all socials. I got off of all socials whenever me and my second husband were married by his request. And I never built that clientele back up again. It was a huge mistake for me to do that. But he asked me to do it and I did it. Guess who didn't do it?
Him.
Right.
Oh,
And I didn't have social media for years. Yeah, and I didn't miss it. And look, I love doing this with you and I love having our platform, but there are days when I wish I could throw Facebook out in the Mississippi River. Like, whoa.
And I guess that's you and I, because we get, I don't know, we both get comments, but I mostly answer our socials where it's your personal social. But I just don't. I'm just like, it's just another person. It's another day, and I don't even think twice about them. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, but
I don't either, but I will say there are days like I texted you and Ken, our producer, one day last week, and I was like, today it's just really like it's getting under my skin. And it wasn't what they were saying; it was just that there was a common like subject. That's not the right word I'm looking for, but there was a common thread essentially
yeah,
of what they were saying in just different ways, and so it began to hurt my. I also was PMSing, but it began to hurt my feelings. So I wanted to just throw my phone out the window.
and
Also, no, I wanted to be able to realistically defend myself, and I knew that that wasn't actually I wasn't capable of doing that because I was talking to people who didn't really care about me either. They were just trying to get an emotion out of me.
yeah, and they follow. I've noticed when we're applying to these things, you'll get like 10 of them at the same time that are following what you're saying, and I'm like, they're just feeding off each other, and I'm like, we're not. I'm not feeding into your nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, I got aggravated today. I went and I checked the comments or whatever, and there was this one dude who, by the way, had a COVID mask on, but he had like commented on like four different posts and like and I was like, you have convinced me that you like me a lot. No matter how much you say you don't like me, why have you stayed on my page going from post to post, obviously reading the comments because you're replying to other comments
Yeah.
down the thread. And so I finally just had to say, I hope you have a wonderful day, but you have proven to me that you're not going anywhere unless I block you. Like you like it here.
Yeah, like we'll get like they're trying. It's so funny, and some of them they're like trying to like fish us to like what's the word? Trying to like we have to win their approval. Like, oh, I'm watching you guys, but I don't know yet, or
I
I'm
love it
like,
when they say, "Oh, you just have to have the last word," and I'm like, "There you go. You just got it. I ain't saying another thing to you. You want the last word? This is yours, buddy. I ain't married anymore. I'm not playing that game.
oh,
You just got it."
I always give them the
Yeah, no, I
last
do.
word.
It's yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say I don't
I
have
do have something I have to admit to y'all. That
Uh-oh.
since I've moved here to Nashville, I allowed myself to openly like use my Facebook dating. I've always said I didn't turn it off, but I wasn't checking it, which I didn't. But since I'm here, I thought I would really like to meet people outside of the music industry that are just normal people and like grow my community and my friends. That has not worked out well at all. It hasn't worked out
But
well at
it
all.
didn't work out here.
I haven't been on one date. I've had a lot ask if I would go on a date with them, and then silence, like nothing else.
So
There was,
it's like a
huh?
they've conquered you, but then it's not worth even feeding you. Like I don't
I think it's an options thing again. But I did have this guy. I think it was last week or week before, recently, and he was too young anyway. But he was cute, cute. He was fireman, cute fireman. And he was trying to like line up for us to get together. And then finally he was like, my one of my best friends is getting married this weekend. Why don't you go out with us after the wedding and the reception? I said, and he was like, why? I said, I'm not looking to like embarrass myself and embarrass you the first time we meet because I am 20 years older than you.
oh shit.
And I never heard from him again. Never heard from him again. I was like, well, there he goes. But I mean, I knew there was no, like, that literally was just, he was adorable. He was cute. I would hang out with him. So he was going to follow through. And I was like, I am not going to be the talk of, those girls, those bridesmaids would have had something to say.
Well, okay, so when they're on Facebook dating, because I don't know about this shit, when they're on Facebook dating, they can see your feed or see your profile completely. Can they see all the podcast?
No, you have to share it with them.
So these men really don't know anything about the platform.
No, but I have in my bio that we do have a podcast, and I will not answer this question. I will not answer the question, oh, you have a podcast? Why don't you tell me a little bit about it? Go watch it.
Okay, but wait, that's a good step for a man because he's trying to find a common interest with you. He's trying to.
No.
Yes.
First of all, don't ask me some damn open-ended question where I gotta write a gosh dang it paragraph paragraph for you and you hadn't told me even what color your hair is yet. Like, no.
But it's enabling you to show a
I,
passion for
that's something
something.
I would love to answer on a date.
What it's about. But I think that
Yeah,
I don't think
tell
that's a
me
bad
that
question.
in the dating app.
You got to start somewhere.
I guess I don't know.
It's
And
better
don't ask me what
than
my favorite emoji is.
let me see your titties.
They're just dumb. Like there's no effort, and I've said that to you before. Like no effort at all. Like absolutely no effort. And then the whole like going MIA thing is strange. Some dude today kept trying to tell me because I think he lives in like Kentucky or something. Which by the way, I'm really not that far from Kentucky. Apparently, I haven't been, but it's like going to Lafayette from
geographically. Okay.
And he was like, yeah. He's like, have you learned to teleport yet? And I was like, no, I sure haven't. No, I don't teleport.
But what happens? I mean, you've said before, it's a good couple has inside jokes, right? You're starting off with these relationships that you can create great inside jokes with.
You would, if you read it, you'd get it. Like there's no like real interest in there. They're just trying to like get me to talk to them. I don't know. But I do. So you haven't met her yet, but I have another friend here that podcasts, and she does her podcast by herself. She doesn't have a co-host, and she doesn't really bring guests on. So it's really more like just she sits and she talks, and she's super inspirational. But wait, I lost my train of thought.
The Mormon life.
Hold on, it had to do with the shit.
She's also in the dating world, just as you are. There, like. She's single.
I know what I was gonna say. So yeah, so she's in the dating world too, and she said that she uses Snapchat. She's appalled by Snapchat, which we all are. We just don't usually talk about it. But she said that she uses Snapchat when they slide and they come in. She's like, "Hey, you should watch my podcast." She was like my viewership has gone up, and I was like, but I mean, like, how much do they watch before they go? I don't need daily motivational quote cards.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Views are views. We don't give a shit who it is.
That's what she says too.
Yeah.
I've never attempted to try to like get men in that way over. Maybe because of the reaction that I get already, and I just don't want more of it. But my friends at work, my coworkers, they're not friends. My coworkers at work don't know we do this. I don't want them to watch it because then I don't want them to ask me questions.
I will say my boss knows, and it was by accident. But he said, I'm not watching it and I'm not judging you. And I said, okay.
Mine must have watched the only 5 minutes that we've done where I didn't embarrass myself because he said, I saw some of the podcasts and yes, there was some profanity. And I was like,
you could say that's mostly for me though, not you.
Catch the finisher.
Yeah, that's for me though, not you.
I don't know. I don't know who was cursing in that moment. I said the C word in one of our episodes recently, so
well, if you don't like our verbiage, then don't watch. I don't care.
Do I think that he would have a problem with a woman with a platform? Depends on the platform.
So
my boss is a good man, so I think that he would be very proud of his wife, who he's been with for a very long time, if she had a voice like we have, as long as it was respectful to their marriage.
Which is what I try to follow in the lines of doing with mine.
He's a good man, and I do think he would take it that way. And I'm not trying to leave you out at all, but you got a good man. It's one of those things like I'm just gonna know when I meet somebody that is going to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna know because I'm gonna feel easy inside.
It's funny that you say that because they're like, oh, if he gives you butterflies, that's a sign that he's your person. I'm like, no, you don't want butterflies. Like,
yeah,
don't.
It's anxiety.
That's not what you want. That's lust and anxiety, right? You want a solid calm and a peace when you meet the person you're with.
With that being said, though, that doesn't mean a starfish on her back is going to be a good wife.
Wait, what?
a girl who's not good in bed. So, like, what we're saying is that if a guy gives us butterflies, that means that there's uneasiness there, there's anxiety there.
Right.
So the reverse, the guy's side of it is girls that are typically really good in bed are batshit crazy, right?
Oh, true. Yeah. Yes.
The ones that lay flat on their back and let you do all the work, they're not necessarily better. So it's not a good gauge to go by. And butterflies could be the same way. You have to know yourself.
Can I go on a side note here? Because we talk about leading. We talk about leading, all right? So from a sexual standpoint, from a different perspective of mine, because, you know, do you follow a man? Do you like a man that leads more in bed and takes a dominant role versus somebody that's just going to lay there? Does that make sense?
It made sense. I'm just wondering what man you have come in contact with that just lays there.
I have. Not that I've been with that many people, but I have.
I do not want to be in charge in bed. I mean, come on. This is a primal act. This is primal. You better be able to throw me around and toss me around. That is what you were put on this earth to do.
Okay,
we're make babies with me. Now make them good.
We're on the same page. I just wanted to see another woman's perspective of that. Like, I am here to be submissive. Whatever you want, I am here to do those things.
But let me tell you something. With that being said, you put your hand on my neck and you gonna choke me, you better be the love of my motherfucking life. Because you are not going to put me in that type of submissive position without me giving you that okay first. And it doesn't have to be a verbal okay. You know what I mean by okay. Like,
yes.
There has to be like a safety there. And I know I use that word a lot, but there has to be like a real connection there before you take something like that on it. So many, dear Lord, please forgive me, but so many men do it now and they think it's sexy. And I'm like, you're just doing it because other people told you it was sexy. You don't even know why you're doing it. And that's unattractive in itself. But on top of that, it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful unless you have that connection there and the two of you're safe together in bed.
You know what that tells me about a man? The way you're describing it is a man that watches porn a lot.
Well, a lot of porn. You're absolutely right. But if you can't get a Charlie horse and bust out laughing and still have just as much fun during that sex as the choking sex, then you and I don't need to be having sex at all.
No. You can always.
Yes, I want to be submissive and I want to be tossed around. But the best sex is sex where you can look at each other and laugh in the middle of it.
Yeah. You can always tell a man that watches too much porn during sex.
Oh, absolutely. Did I send you the video about the guy that said, I think I did. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. It's a local, or not a local influencer, but he's an influencer. And he said that he was going down on a girl and she farted on him. Did I send you this video?
No.
Okay, so he tells the story that he goes down on the girl and she farts while he's down there. And he said he was immediately appalled. And so he looks up at her like, what the fuck? I can't believe you did this to me. And as he looks up to her, she goes, why'd you stop? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And he goes right down. And I thought that was really funny. But also, I don't want a man like that.
Since we got, what did we learn today? Because we're so far off topic.
I didn't have it. I mean, like that. I don't know. You're going to have to answer this one.
I don't think we really learned anything. I think you're finding the right person that can accept what we do, who we are, and the honesty that we bring with it. And if you can't, then you're not my person. Or you could be like my husband and just put blinders on and be like, you're happy. That's all that matters. Go do it.
I do know what I learned. Because you are correct. But what I learned was that this process, some from the outside looking in, see it as me putting myself in a dangerous position. I've seen it as the perfect tool to weed out the tools.
See, we always learn something at the end of all this. Y'all just need to listen.
I'm really fine with less dick pics because I do this.
You do. It has diminished astonishingly.
But there's a few that I'm like, y'all just don't get a hint.
All right, guys, we love you. Like, subscribe, stay listening till the end so you can learn what our life lessons are because we learn shit.
Yeah, I'm so much healthier now.
And let us just heal out loud with you and you can learn stuff from us and we can heal together.
Peace out, homies.
All right, bye.